Hey superstar, Gavin is here from Wake Up Fulfilled. Welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for goal-getting empaths and light workers who want to manifest an inspired life. In this video, I'm going to share with you why ejaculation kills manifestation, and I'm going to be talking to you about my semen retention journey since I've been doing it for 1 complete year, and I want to share with you the benefits of doing semen retention, which I'll share with you at the end of the video, some of the things I've been able to manifest and create in my life. So if you're new to the channel or you're an existing subscriber, comment below, I am a superstar, oh yes, in order to win my sleep shifting course. There'll be 3 winners on screen right now. DM me on Instagram if you want to get access to your winnings. All right, now let's talk a little bit about my journey. I actually read the book over here, Think and Grow Rich, the yellow and red one. And in that book, he talks about sex transmutation. And that's what really got me into this philosophy of understanding that your sexual energy is a creational energy. Your sexual energy can create a new life. So not only can you use your sexual energy to create a human being, but you can also use it to create a new life. So you can use it to create a new life, but you can also use it to create a new life. And you need to understand that you can transfer and transmute this energy into the thing that you are wanting. So let me share with you 3 tips and some of the things that I've experienced through doing semen retention. Now this started for me, again, by reading that book. But then I realized I was becoming ill, having brain fog, feeling tired, ridiculously tired through having sex with one of my ex-partners. And so I decided to look into sex transmutation more and nutrition. And I started learning about, sex and why men feel weak after ejaculating and why men leave women after ejaculating and they don't feel good around women after ejaculating. And I came to some really powerful understandings, and it's really powerful for you to understand that when you do semen retention, you are releasing your life force energy, and so it makes you feel low. So in terms of how we think about this world, we don't want to just think about it in the physical, but we want to think about it in the spiritual as well. So let me share with you how I completely committed to doing semen retention for a year or more, and how you can do the same too. So if you're into NoFap and semen retention, this will dramatically change your ability to commit long-term on this. Now, tip number 1 is I made a bet with my friend, okay? And also we done this thing called the hyperbolic time chamber. You may have heard of this before if you've watched Dragon Ball Z. And I made a bet with him, and I said to him basically that I'm going to make $1 million. And in order to achieve that goal, I'm not going to ejaculate. I'm not going to release. I'm going to do semen retention. And it's not until I achieve that goal that I get to actually do that. And it's kind of funny, the way I feel now is like, even if I do achieve it, I don't necessarily want to do that because of the way I feel. I'm going to show you why in a moment. Now, the hyperbolic chamber it's like a temple, okay? I put it on screen right now. And in that temple, when you go in there, 1 day of training is worth 1 year of training in the external world. And so me and my friend created this thing called the hyperbolic time chamber in this reality, where we totally focus on ourselves. We totally focus on growing, expanding, becoming our greatest version. And at that point in time, for me, it was cutting out women, okay? That was my hyperbolic chamber, cutting out women and totally working on myself and totally focusing on my business. That was my goal. That's what I wanted to do. And so I did that. And what I noticed is during that time is I was starting to attract women. Looks from women, smiles, DMs, messages, even exes returning and texting and stuff like this was happening during that 90 days of doing that. And so when that happens, when temptation comes, I know it's a test from the universe to see if you're serious about what it is you're trying to manifest and what it is you're trying to create. And so I kept it up. I kept on doing it, and I went 90 days, and I felt so empowered. I felt so confident after the 90 days of semen retention and just totally focusing on myself. And so as I came out of the hyperbolic chamber, I wanted to go back in. I wanted to focus on my path. I wanted to focus on my career and not be so focused on women and trying to balance that with my work. And so that's what I decided to do. And that's when I said to my friend, hey, I'm going to go and achieve $1 million. And my bet with you is that I'm not going to ejaculate until I achieve that particular goal. Okay, that's what I said to him. And so what I want you to learn from this is when it comes to doing NoFap and semen retention is you want to have a long-term goal. What is it that you want to manifest? What is it that you want to create into your life? All right. And once you have a long-term goal, now you got something to reward yourself from, and you got something meaningful or not to release, or not to masturbate, to not do NoFap, right? You got a reason why. You got a bigger reason why. When it's just like something really simple, it's not really powerful. Oh, I'm going to increase my confidence. Da, da, da. What's something very meaningful to you, right? And once you have something meaningful, it's really transformative. One of my clients, I had a client and he wanted to practice this because he couldn't stop being addicted to masturbation. And so what I did is I told him, hey, what's the consequences of doing this? Who are you letting down? And then we spoke about God, because he was a Christian. And then, what does God think of this? All right. And then he found a lot of pain around doing it anymore. All right. And once he had that association, he stopped doing it immediately. And then he was able to focus on gym, be more productive, and he even attracted his twin flame, which is really, really powerful. And so when it comes to you achieving NoFap and doing it long term, you want to think beyond the energy of addiction, beyond the energy of, being enticed by the sex and wanting to have sex and wanting to release. And once you have something bigger than that, then you're going to be able to transform your life. You have to find meaning beyond your instant gratification. So important. Okay, so that's the first tip that I want to share with you. So tip number 2 here is realizing that when you get good at this and you do it for a long period of time, you start automatically channeling your energy into the things that you are wanting to create in your life. Okay, you're able to transmute and shift that energy into the thing that you are wanting. Not only that, it's like I still have the desire, I still feel like it, but it's like I can fuel it to what it is that I want. It reminds me, I use it as a reminder to focus on my goal. Okay, so rather than diving into an instant gratification, instant pleasure, I'm thinking a long-term pleasure. I'm thinking of the $1 million that I want to manifest. Because I know $1 million is not only about me, but it's about helping so many people. I know people are going to benefit from it. So not only if I go for the instant gratification, am I letting myself down, but I'm letting down so many people's lives. And so I'm totally committed. And so it reminds me to focus on my goal. I can channel my energy into what it is that I'm wanting. So what I've noticed is I've increased my level of focus and concentration. I have a lot more internal power and confidence, and I've become way more socially confident, significantly more socially confident than I was before. You see, I used to feel a sense of weakness about me. And that weakness is that you have a vice. It's that you are addicted to something and you can't control yourself. You can't help but do it. When sex is about can't help but do it, or desiring it way too much, know that it's coming from the 3D. Know that it's coming from the wrong space. It's coming from the wrong energy. You should not want to make love to your partner from the place of addiction. Okay, I want you to notice that. And I'm going to share with you in the next tip why I see sex differently. But I want you to understand that when there's an addictive energy where you have to do it, right? That is the wrong vibratory energy. You can make excuses and say, yeah, I want to make love to my partner and all this stuff. But is it operating from your heart? Is it really genuinely coming from your heart, or is it coming from downstairs? If we're unable to take control of our biology, if we're unable to control ourselves in that way, again, it lowers the self-esteem and it makes us feel bad. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're unable to take control of this in this part of your life, how is that affecting other areas of your life? Now, I've also participated in doing ayahuasca. You may have heard of it, or you may have heard of DMT or LSD. I've done ayahuasca, which is more of a plant medicine. And during my ceremony, there was an experience where I was seeing naked women, all right? And it was like the ayahuasca was training me not to sexualize women, because after that particular experience, once I detached from sexualizing women and seeing them objectively, Not that I did consciously, but subconsciously, I was seeing them as an object. I purged that out, and what happened is I started to see more bliss. I went into a state of bliss, and I started seeing the magic of the womb man. Okay, the womb man is very powerful. Okay, the womb man is the first, and we need to begin to treat our women as high priestess, as queens. And as we begin to do that, we begin to heal the world. All men come from women. Women is the start. If we look at the chromosomes, the XX chromosome is the first. So we want to understand that. And when we understand that, we will realize that man doesn't exist without woman, the womb. And when you take care of the womb, when you take care of the woman, and she's feeling amazing, then you can better pursue your goals, your dreams and desires, and be a better man for the world. And so also at the same time, the womb man needs to understand that there's a desire to make a man feel weak. There's a subconscious desire to make a man feel weak. And this is stemmed from the manifestation of feminism through the man treating the woman wrong for so many years. Feminism has manifested. And then now the woman wants to make the man feel weak. And subconsciously, when you are having sex, you want him to feel weak, you want him to ejaculate. There's a huge desire for that so that you can overpower him. And so it's not good for a man to be weak. Just want you to understand that. It's important for the man to be strong. And if a man cannot do semen retention, he is not strong, he is weak. If he can't hold his semen, if he can't not ejaculate, and by the way, just so you know, you can have an orgasm without ejaculating. You just have to learn how to do it. Okay, I practice it, I'm able to do it myself. So you need to understand that this is totally possible and totally achievable. Releasing doesn't need to happen. And so, woman, if you want your man to be solid, if you want your man to man up, if you want your man to be a greater man, you have to allow him to learn these modalities if he's into it. You have to allow him to shift and transmute this energy so he can be a better man for you. When a man releases his seed, he feels a lower vibration. He might feel high, but he is a lower vibration. Okay, and now he's not being the best man he can be for you. So we need to understand that the seed is the life force. This fluid is life force energy. And this life force energy can be transmuted. It can be used to heal yourself. It can be used to focus or create something into your life. Like I said, you can use your semen to create a life, a new human being, or you can use it to create a new life, right? It's up to you. You can do both if you want. But what I found is by cultivating that energy and building that energy, you're able to have more self-control, discipline, and focus on your dreams and your goals and your desires. So the last thing I want to share with you, the last tip I want to share with you is now that I see sex differently. It's so profound and my vibration has increased significantly. Sex can be a vice. Sex can be an addiction. And it can hold you back from reaching your greatest version, your fullest potential. And so we need to understand that when it comes to sex, there's spiritual energy behind it. There's a lot of spiritual energy behind it. The chakras are aligning when you're having sex and you're exchanging energy. You're creating energy cords. Your chemistry is changing. So many biological things are happening, but also on the spiritual level, so many things are happening. Sex is a union. Sex is marriage. I want to repeat that again. Sex is marriage. A lot of people think marriage is the physical thing. Oh, I'm going to go to the church and, whatever it is, and do all that. That is just like a declaration to the world. That's nothing. Okay? The real marriage happens when you have sex. Now, I want you to look at marriage. What happens? You get a ring, okay? And you put it on their finger, right? Now the ring is the vagina. The finger is the penis. And you slide the ring on the finger, all right? This is a symbolization of the connection of one's union. So we need to understand that marriage is actually sex. And so how many people are you married to? How many people are you tied to energetically? What bonds do you have to other people? What connections do you have to other people spiritually? Not only that, what emotional ties do we have to other people? You see, with women, it's a little bit more challenging because you have the oxytocin. You have way more oxytocin than a man. Oxytocin is the hormone where it's like that feel-good connection energy. So a woman becomes more connected to a man than a man is connected to a woman. That's why a man can have sex with someone and just walk off. A woman finds it hard to do that, or harder to do that. Some women have become more into the masculine energy and they can do that anyway. But that's because they're out of balance with their femininity. And so we need to understand that the oxytocin, the hormone, is going to create connection and bond with that man. And so women, you need to be careful who touches you. That's why in some religions you're not allowed to touch the woman. That's why the woman is covered up. Now, I'm not saying to cover up. I'm not saying that not to be touched. But I'm saying to be wary that you release certain hormones when you have sex. You release certain hormones just when you're touched. Okay, when you're hugged, when they hold your hand, when they stroke your hair. No, this is an act of them getting you, right, to, maybe have sex or be your partner or whatever it is. So you have to understand this. And what I would say, the one thing that I see differently is I want to look for the one, right? When it comes to sex, I want to be with the one, my life partner, because I see sex as marriage. Plus, now, when it comes to sex, I don't see it as a sexual energy. I see it as love, complete love, unconditional love. Whereas before there was like a behind it. Do you know what I mean? Like there was like a, yeah, I need to do that. But now it's like pure love. It's not because there's some sort of aggressive masculine energy behind it. A lot of men, when they have sex, it's just very aggressive. Okay, this is not the way in which you have sex. Okay, sex is more gentle and soft. Maybe it can be hard at sometimes, you can play around with it, but it's supposed to be gentle. And so now I'm operating from the heart energy, the heart chakra. And my sexual energy has moved more into the 5D. And so what we want to do is learn how to transmute the lower chakras, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plex chakra into the 5D, because it has been tampered with. The 3D, the third dimension, has told you what sex is. I remember in school that my teacher taught me, she taught the whole class, masturbation is the best thing to do. Keep on masturbating. I was like, what? When I think back of it now, it's like really bad teachings. Okay, so understand all of the things that you've been taught about sex, all the things you've been taught about money, property, whatever, right? The material world. And then confidence as well, solar plex. So the root chakra, material world. Sacral chakra, sexual energy. Solar plex, confidence. What have you been taught about confidence? Right? And understand that is 3D way of being. It's not spiritual. So what you want to do is transmute these lower chakras into the spiritual way of being. And so when I see material success now, I see it from a place of love. When I see the sexual energy now, I see it from a place of love. When it's confidence, it's from a place of love. It's not ego. It's love. It's higher power. It's God. It's God's power. It's God's confidence. It's a different kind of confidence. When you have that kind of faith, it's really powerful. And so most people are operating from ego-based confidence. It's not real confidence. It's ego-based confidence. And so that's what I've learned through sex transmutation. It's a huge transformation. And, it's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. Even women, right? I've actually had a relationship where the woman that I was with, seeing at the time, she would not release as well. And it was really powerful for her. She felt more confident. It's crazy. And so we need to learn these things about sex and our sexuality. Now, there's some tools that I want to provide to you that might really help. You can look into Tantra. You can look to cosmic sexuality. These are two very powerful tools. Cosmic sexuality, they're on Instagram. There's a lady named Mayara Healing Arts. She's got a channel here on YouTube. I've been following her and her teachings, really powerful stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. So look into your nutrition and sexuality as well to make sure you have good sexual vibrancy. And you can also learn about sex transmutation. And if you want me to make more videos on this, comment below and let me know some topics that you want me to talk about next in my next videos. And right now we offer neutrality shifting coaching. So if you're someone that wants to work on your sexual energy, you want to get rid of porn addiction, sex addictions, you want to go ahead and take control of yourself and have more confidence and discipline in yourself, and you want to be the man that you totally want to be or the woman that you totally want to be in your sexual energy, sexual area, because you know it's going to lead to more manifestations and success in your life, then be sure to check out the link in the description, or there should be a video on screen right now which you can click on one-on-one coaching, and we can totally shift you into the personality of being who you want to be. So do that now. Keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.